good morning to our beloved lecturer, Madam Masura, and to everyone who is watching our video today. So today, my crew members and I will be presenting our analysis based on a case study which is entitled Another Staff Meeting. So this case study is actually highlights several organizational issues, which is especially in communication, leadership, and decision making. So without wasting any time, let's dive into our presentation today.
Hi, my name is Zurisha Zuina binti Muhammad Zamri. I will give you some overview according to this case study titled Another Staff Meeting. So this case study represents poor leadership behavior by the leader named Jim McLean. Attitude give effect to the worker and company's reputation. First thing, their company is disorganized organizational management, which is according to Jim's attitude that always make a meeting without any schedule, and their work environment is a tense work atmosphere where the leader and the worker doesn't communicate, and this will lead to poor communication. Also do not have a clear objective when doing something, and he always force his worker to do some job without asking their abilities.
Okay, the main objective of our report is to analyze the organizational issues which is found in the case study. So we will be focusing on three core areas, which is the communication breakdowns across the departments. Second, how the leadership handles the meetings as well as the internal politics. So the last one is the effectiveness of decision making within the team. So these issues will directly contribute to the workplace inefficiency and declining the job satisfaction. So in addition to identifying the root cause, we also provide the practical recommendations to improve the communication systems, leadership styles, as well as the decision-making process.
The relevance to the organization communication from this case study is first, classical approach, which is exclusively downward communication, where the leader will give instruction to the worker and will not receive any feedback from the worker. This situation represents when Jim asks his subordinates to focus on red tape problem, and when June, his worker, gave opinion according to his instruction, Jim refused to hear the opinion. The second is employee suggestion neither solicited nor appreciated. This represents when Jim saying a negative words to June because does not agree with June's opinion and reject her opinion. The third one is dictatorial leadership style, where it just focus on the products, low focus on people, and the worker is considered as a tool to achieve the objective.
So this section of case analysis is focused on three major communication problems within the organization. So first, there's a lack of planning and meeting structure, where Jim will often call for meeting without any notice or agenda. For instance, June only found out about a meeting from a colleague instead of should be an official source. So this will result in confusion, disorganized discussion, and will prevent the team members from coming well prepared. So it is also will lower the meeting productivity and will lead to missed coordination opportunities. So secondly, Jim uses one-way dismissive communication style, where he gives order without any welcoming input. So from his team, when June raised a concern, he automatically rejected it, saying an idea wouldn't work out. So this top-down approach discouraged the employees from speaking up and sharing their creative ideas. So it will also build a toxic culture where the people will feel their contributions are not valued at all in their company. Lastly, there's a lack of active listening and engagement. Jim shows a minimal interest in employees' feedback during the meetings as well as fail to address their concerns. So, employees will only participate because of his pressure. They are not participating genuinely. So this kind of environment leads to a disengagement where the staff members stop raising issues. So, these communication flaws significantly impact the team morale, trust, as well as the overall effectiveness.
I will continue the next point, which is the role of leadership in managing the discussion and politics. So, poor leadership is clearly reflected in how Jim's action worsen communication breakdown, increase political tension, and hinder effective decision making, ultimately leading to a dysfunctional and unproductive team environment. So the first one, the reason why is because of Jim's authoritarian style, which is how he rejects input, like how he dismissed Jane's suggestion. Also, he prioritizes control over collaboration. And lastly, he hurts morale and blocks creativity because he refused to listen to his teammates. And then the next one is lack of safe space, which is staff only speak up with coaxing. And then the fear of rejection, where they provide a culture of silence and mistrust. And then there is also no open or respectful environment, which lead to poor team dynamics. And then the last one, which is office politics and low morale. Jim promotes personal agenda over team needs, and he also overlooks June despite current workload, and he also creates favoritism, mistrust, and low team spirit, which is a very bad example as a leader.
For my part, I'll be assessing the decision-making effectiveness in the meeting scenario. Firstly, there was a lack of clear direction. Jim brought up red tape but didn't define the issue or set clear goals. This confused the team and made the decision-making inefficient. To improve, Jim should start meetings with a clear agenda and a specific outcome in mind. Secondly, his dismissive leadership style was harmful. He totally shut down June's concern about the VIP service, which is discouraged the team input. Instead, he should foster open dialogue by actively listening and acknowledging different views to build a more inclusive decision-making process. And lastly, decisions were rushed without a proper analysis, requiring suggestion by the next morning left no time to full planning. A better approach would be allowing at least 2 days for brainstorming, so solutions are more effective and the team members feel respected.
The case study shows that Jim's top-down leadership style and one-way communication have caused many problems in the workplace. His action led to confusion among employees, increased stress, and created a toxic work environment. Employees felt unappreciated and ignored because their ideas and feedback were not taken seriously. To solve this problem, 5 recommendations were suggested. First, the organization should use two-way symmetrical communication, where both leaders and staff can share their ideas openly. Second, a participative leadership style should be adopted, where employees are involved in decision-making. Third, meetings should be scheduled and structured, so everyone knows what to expect. Fourth, the leaders should use situational leadership, adjusting their style based on the team's needs. Finally, the organization should practice clear and transparent communication to build trust and create a more positive work environment. By applying these recommendations, the organization can improve teamwork, build trust, and create a more effective and respectful workplace for everyone.
So for adopt a participative leadership style. So this means a leader involves team members in decision making, listen to their ideas, and works together with them instead of just giving orders. For instance, a manager asks the team for a suggestion before lunch, a new project, encourage discussions, and makes a final decision based on everyone's input. This makes employees feel valued and more motivated. So, for implement a schedule like Mintzberg management rules, Harry Mintzberg described 10 management rules grouped into 3 categories: interpersonal, informational, and decisional. These rules help managers organize their daily tasks. To implement a schedule based on Mintzberg, a manager can plan time for each type of rule. For example, interpersonal rules, dealing with people, figure ahead, attend ceremonies or great guests, leader motivated and guide the team, liaison, communicate with other outside the team. Informational rules, handling information, monitor, read reports or stay update on trends. Disseminator, share important info with the team. Spokespersons represent the team in meetings. Decision rules, making decisions. Internal plan improvements or change. Disturbance, handle, solve problems or conflict. Resource allocator, decide who does what. Negotiator, make this or resolve disagreements.
Next point is executing situational leadership style, which so the first one I will be touching about the issue, which is how Jim lack effort to understand his teammates. He also have different goals and priorities between his teammates. So how do we apply situational leadership in this situation? Which is how first we can learn about others' way of thinking, and then how to find a way to understand each other, especially between a leader and subordinates. And then the last one is motivates critical observation among the leader, which is the leader needs to know how to observe their teammates so that they can understand them and know how to give instruction very well. So the effects out of applying the situational leadership is able to give structural and suitable instruction, and then avoid misunderstanding or conflicts between the teammates, and lastly make good and appropriate decision with situation faced, which what Jim really need to fix. Thank you.
To improve meeting effectiveness, I recommend fostering clear structure and transparent communication. This starts with preparing well-organized agenda and sharing it before the meeting. When everyone knows what to expect, they can come prepared, stay focused on key issues, and avoid wasting time on side discussion. A structured meeting gives direction and leads to stronger decision making. Equally important is creating a safe space when team members feel comfortable to speaking up. When people feel heard, it encourages honest input and creative solution. Open communication also help identify problem early before they escalate. According to Ridwansha et al. 2024, clear and open communication improve coordination and reduce misunderstanding, key factors for effective collaboration. In our case study, Jim's meeting lacked both structure and openness. By using clear agendas and encouraging dialogue, he can make meetings more productive and better decisions.
The case study shows that Jim's top-down leadership style and one-way communication have caused many problems in the workplace. His action led to confusion among employees, increased stress, and create a toxic work environment. Employees felt unappreciated and ignored because their ideas and feedback were not taken seriously. To solve this problem, 5 recommendations were suggested. First, the organization should use two-way symmetrical communication, where both leaders and staff can share their ideas openly. Second, a participative leadership style should be adopted, where employees are involved in decision-making. Third, meetings should be scheduled and structured, so everyone knows what to expect. Fourth, the leaders should use situational leadership, adjusting their style based on the team's need. Finally, the organization should practice clear and transparent communication to build trust and create a more positive work environment. By applying these recommendations, the organization can improve teamwork, build trust, and create a more effective and respectful workplace for everyone.
Thank you for watching.